Fuck it, we'll do this live. Ba-do-do-do-do, ba-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, 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 da-do-do, do-do, do-do, do-do. There we go.
All right.
Welcome
that
to
was
Hit.
ridiculous. I'm out.
Look, man, we have no rhythm. It's not our fault. Okay.
I don't have rhythm.
No.
I apologize to everyone listening. Me and Travis are doing improvisation.
Improvisational jazz. Yep.
We're making up for Smeggy not being here tonight.
Yep.
So
Yep.
It's a rough night without Smeggy. So, welcome all, Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike. I will introduce my panel. We got over here on the left, we got Cycle Camp. What's going on, Bill?
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Glad to see everybody around.
Awesome. Don't make fun of me tonight, all right?
Oh, shit. I might as well quit then.
No promises. I see how it is.
That'd be
All
good.
right. And we got Scotty, Too Hottie.
Yo.
Excuse me, Too Scotty. There we go. All right. Then we also have last and certainly not least, we have Travis P11. What's going on, Travis?
Hey, everything's going good, man. I appreciate the invite. And guys, you can check out my channel on YouTube. It's Travis P11. And I'm also over on Caliber Corner on gunchannels.com.
Yep. When's going to be when's our next Caliber Corner?
Well, a lot of family obligations here. Got a wedding coming up this next Saturday, so I won't be around to do another one. 24th, we're going to start back up. We're actually planning a really, really good one on reloading. I'm talking to a few other guys in the Gun Channels family. Going to cover everything you need to know to get into it and ask questions if you have questions. We're going to do an all-in-one episode on reloading. And I know there's a lot of good other videos out there, but these I want to learn. I want to learn some. I want to learn about what it takes to get into it. So
FYI, don't depend on Sean Ponery to show up at all.
No, Sean, we Squidload's going to be in, AWAG's going to be in, and they're going to contact Sean and a bunch of the other guys that do reloading. So if anybody wants to join in, they'll be more than welcome to.
All right. So
yeah.
And then we got Heavy B. Heavy B live from Mesa, Arizona. Heavy B. What's going on?
Oh. Ooh.
It's like he's got a little technical difficulties with his microphone, so we'll wait.
They're still trying to censor him from California, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they
Yep.
He probably has to take the compliant parts off. Whoa. What's going on, Heavy B?
What up? Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. I got to refresh.
Yeah, you need to refresh bad. Ow.
Man, that was grabbing.
I almost need to take my headset off and just
that was
rough,
rough,
my
man.
ears.
Definitely chafing. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, so you there, Heavy? We're waiting for him to.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, thank God!
Hey, there we
Sounds
go.
much better.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I didn't plug in my headset till I'd already joined, and I was like, God damn it.
You gotta go do it over again. Yeah.
Heavy, did my little Pro Freedom package make it to your door?
Not yet.
Really? They said Saturday. Holy crap.
Well, I got to talk to my landlady. She's probably
Okay.
got tucked away someplace.
Yeah, it probably did show. It should have shown up on Saturday. I'll check the delivery info. So, yeah, I sent it on Thursday. You should have had it by now. All right, it's probably there.
All right, so I got a topic I want to cover tonight. So I'm going to post it here in the internal chat for you guys. I'll post it out on the Gun Channel side. And for what the hell, why not? I'll put it on the YouTube side as well, just for the hell of it. Just because we got to show some love to the YouTube people who want to seclude themselves. So we'll posting that link right now. I want to discuss this. If you've got a topic, go ahead and just, let's talk about it. Anyways, so here's what's going on. There's this sheriff in Florida. Let's see. Florida. That's what county did they say? Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey. He posted a video on Facebook last Wednesday, 2 days after the Orlando workplace shooting left 6 people dead. including the shooter. He posted that he said this, folks, now more than ever is the time for our citizens to be prepared to serve as the first line of defense, not only for them, but for their families when the attack happens. And let me be perfectly clear, doing nothing or just hoping it won't happen to you is not going to save your life. So he's taking a little fire for, coming out and saying this. He's saying, in my book, what's next is to fully understand that this is a war. You better be prepared to wage war to protect you, your family, and those around you if attacked. So he's getting shit for this, but the issue is he's on the right track because, honestly, we know and understand that the cops, when you call the cops or call the authorities, more than likely, they're going to send one or two people out in one car, okay? If they do. And he's going to get there within 8 minutes. Someone can literally pull a trigger in seconds. I'm gonna be conservative on this and say in literally 30 seconds they can pull the trigger. So,
Mike Strike, why don't you finish what he said?
Yeah.
I mean, he goes on to make some good points.
He does go on, and he's saying he also says no matter who you are or what your position on guns is, there's no denying the fact that the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun or a knife is an armed and well-prepared citizen or law enforcement officer. There is no doubt that as soon as 911 is called, law enforcement is on the way. However, until they arrive, it is up to you and those with you to neutralize or eliminate the threat.
Seems pretty logical to me.
So I mean, it's while he's getting controversy because he's telling people, you need to carry and you need to be armed, because he is right. You don't know when or where someone who is affiliated with said terrorist groups, or just someone who is completely insane in the head, is going to pop up and do something bad. It's unpredictable. It happens everywhere. It happens here a lot more than it happens elsewhere, but that's because there's so many different situations that it happens here. Okay, some situations it's just a crazy guy. Another situation, it's some jihadist or someone who's aligned to jihadism or Islam or ISIS, or I don't care what they're aligned to. They're doing it in the name of Allah, and that's wrong. But there's also just people who just want to see the world burn. Like that guy that did that thing in Colorado. He just wanted to see the world burn. He didn't care about anything else. He's just crazy. He was crazy, but he was crazy that wanted to see he was crazy in the sense that he just would rather see the world burn and people die. There was no remorse there.
Yeah.
So
I guess I would like to know what is the rationale that the anti-gun crowd can possibly use to prove that what this man has to say, what the sheriff has to say, is wrong. I mean, how can you even say, oh no, he's not right. He's not right. An armed person is a dangerous person. I mean, I don't understand how they could even think that they could. I mean, what he says is true. I mean, how do you deny that? The only way you're going to stop the bad guy with the gun is a good guy with a gun. It's that simple.
Well, they continue to bring up they trot out the tired meme about it'll be the Wild Wild West and there'll be all this collateral damage. And the truth of the matter is there is absolutely no statistical evidence for this. In fact, you have a better chance for collateral damage if police officers are shooting at you than if private citizens are.
I've seen a statistic around that says that less than 1% of the shootings that happen from somebody who's a legal concealed carrier person, it's less than 1% overall of the people that actually do that crime, and it could have just been somebody that just slipped or went off, or it could have been somebody that was wrongfully convicted, or maybe somebody defended themselves and they were convicted, and found guilty for defending themselves, from a concealed standpoint. But the vast majority, and there's already, a fairly armed population now. Obviously, we want more, concealed or unconcealed, that are out there, and we're not out there shooting each other over bumping into somebody at the mall or, having a disagreement with somebody at the office. It's just not happening. So
you got to realize that people are going to have disagreements, and if you're one of these people, one of these liberals that think that, no one's going to ever disagree with you, everyone's just going to take your side, you're wrong, because everybody has free choice. Everyone is an individual. They are free to believe what the hell they want. Granted, that's not to say that what they believe is wrong, but they're free to believe it, because guess what? We're in America. We're in a country that is all about freedom, regardless of, as long as you don't try and take away someone else's freedom, you're free to do with whatever the hell you want.
And I guess I would say to those people that don't want armed citizens, people that have guns, those people can go ahead and leave, because if they feel safer someplace else, then obviously they shouldn't be here. That'd be my response to them: is you have the freedom to go ahead and leave this country too if you want. Go ahead. We're not going to stop you.
Well, just don't carry. That's all. If you don't want to carry, don't carry.
It's okay. If I'm around you, I'll try to protect you. That's all I can say.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So part of what the guy says, I mean, I do have an issue where we're not all sheepdogs. I tell you what, I am not going to wade into the middle of a gunfight, even if I'm armed. If there's a very good chance I'm going to get my butt handed to me.
Well, I don't think that's what he's saying. I think what he's saying is, in case someone starts shooting at people, or shooting at you, he's saying that if you have a gun, you should be able to fire back at them.
Well, he talks about defending yourself and others, and that's where I kind of get, hey, I'm not a paid police officer. I might not want to. I mean, if I'm in a relatively same, and I know this probably doesn't sound real good to you guys, but let's be realistic here. I got family and stuff, and if I'm just at the store and I'm in a if I'm in a position where I can just walk out of there, maybe I'll just walk out of there.
Right.
Just because I got a gun in my pocket doesn't mean, first of all, it doesn't mean it's the kind of gun I can take into that fight.
Right.
And I don't have an obligation to take care of everybody else around me.
No, you don't have an obligation. No, but sometimes with these kind of situations, he's talking about in Florida because of what's happening in Florida. You're up north where they're a little more they're a little more frugal with their gun rights.
Yeah.
They don't want you to have that many, and you also have to look at cycle camp where what your carry laws are in comparison to Florida's.
No, but I'm not really. I don't really think the laws have very much to do with it. I'm just saying that it takes a certain amount of mental thinking to just walk around armed all the time anyway.
Yeah.
And
right.
I keep thinking of that poor bastard that was in the shopping mall that time that made the stupid mistake of walking up with the guy to try to stop him, and then the guy's girlfriend shot him in the back and killed him.
Oh, the Walmart. That was the Walmart that happened. He went around the
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There are situational pieces to this where it could be a little bit of a deal. I do agree that people ought to be able to defend themselves and their families and friends or whatever. I certainly like the guy that stopped and shot the guy that was trying to kill a cop. So I think it's a good idea. I definitely agree. It's a good idea for people to be able to protect themselves, whether you choose that with a gun or, like he says, a taser, a mace, just something that can at least break the pattern of the fight. But unfortunately, a lot of these terrorist type attacks happen so quickly.
Yeah.
That the next thing you know, there's 4 people down. It happens in literally seconds. And the only thing you can do pretty much is save the taxpayer the time for a trial and stuff, except for yours, of course.
Well, not really. I mean, from what you just said, okay, these attacks happen fast, and okay, 2 seconds in, there's already 4 people down. But if you're a concealed carrier and you're the type who's, okay, I understand not wanting to be a sheepdog, but also at the same time, if you're in a position where you can do some help, be of some help to one of those other people in that store, I don't know if you're morally obligated to do so, but I couldn't fucking live with myself if I ducked out the back door and 10 more, innocent people got killed.
No, that's a good point.
The situation that I find myself struggling with the most is you see couples arguing out in public a lot. And I've had a couple times where I've seen the guy, banging on the window and the girl's in the car. Well, people are calling the police immediately and they're going to be there soon, but it's like, okay, at what point do I step up? If this guy busts the glass open on the car and starts grabbing for her, do I then step up to defend her? Or do I wait for the police to show up? The domestic situations are the ones that I don't feel like I'm as trained for. It'd be obvious if it was a terrorist that's got a gun.
Well, that's actually a pretty simple answer.
What do you do? What would you do in something like that?
Domestic violence is one of the top 2 reasons cops get killed, and they're trained to handle that stuff.
Yeah.
You see somebody beating on a window, nobody's in physical harm. If you are in fear for someone's life,
somebody saying get the F out of the car, get out.
That's not. Does that make you in fear for their life?
Some crazy guys
start up the car and drive away.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah.
And okay, you're a married man. Women can push men's buttons and piss them off and make them look all sorts of irrational.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. He busts out the window and he starts dragging her out the car. But then what do you do? Like, okay, he's dragging her out. He gets her out of the car. Is he hitting her? Is he punching her? Is he got her on the ground? Is he choking her out? Does he pull a weapon on her? I mean, these are all things you got to keep in mind. So the best thing to do would be a witness. Watch. And then only when you're truly in fear for that person's life, you're not obligated to act, but that's based on you. But that's the only time you really should act.
Okay, I'm reading some comments on the YouTube side, and AC97 it says, "Oh, and always remember, shooting an active shooter in the back isn't just right; it's ideal." And quite honestly,
no question about that.
If he's killed 3 or 4 people, I would have no qualms about shooting him in the head or in the back of the head. Doesn't matter what position. I would have no qualms about shooting.
Even if he hasn't actually hit anybody yet, but he's just shooting into a crowd, go right the fuck ahead.
Yeah. But I can understand where some people are iffy on this subject because, Cycle Camp says, maybe he doesn't want to. It's not his job to go and save the world, and and it's not like they're asking you to go and fight a war at Cycle Camp. He's just saying that if you're armed, it would be better to shoot back at a terrorist instead of letting him kill you. Just saying.
Sure.
I mean, I kind of understand what Cycle Camp's saying. I mean, if I just paraphrase it in the way I'm thinking what he's saying, if something goes down at the mall and he's there alone, he's not going to rush in and try to handle it. But at the same time, if he's got family in there, it may be a different story.
But let me pose this to you. What if people do listen? And I really hope people in Florida do listen. What if people do listen and say, a guy goes to, a group of people in a building and, starts to shoot a couple people. And then like 5 or 6 people pull out their concealed carry guns on him. You think he's going to continue shooting people? I doubt it. He has one gun. But if there are 5 or 6 people with their guns on him, he probably won't be lasting.
Nice, right. Stop right there. Okay. For one thing, it is like everybody who's done this so far has been shot to death, suicide by a cop, or they've taken themselves out. They're not scared of dying.
Right. No, I'm not saying they're not scared of dying.
They may increase their rate of fire because they know they're in for their danger and they're trying to do more damage before they go down. So
I don't think so. They're not afraid of dying by the cops, but they're not expecting the sheep that they're trying to go and let's be honest, kill. They're not expecting anybody to fight back at all.
No, but by the same token, they've already decided they're going to die.
Yeah.
I think that was the point. The point was they've already made the decision. I'm just going to take as many of these people with me before I go. And that is one of the things you have to worry about if you are responding. If the guy is spraying and praying, then you got to take him out no matter what. But if there is an opportunity for people to get to safety without escalating the situation worse than it is, it might not be that bad a thing.
No, but at the same time, if you have a piece on you, and I'm going to say that, I'm going to say piece or a gun, if you have a gun on you and you are carrying, and someone does start just opening up on somebody, if you're not getting shot at, then yeah, you can run away like everyone else. But if you are getting shot at, if you don't get hit, take cover and shoot back. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
Because quite honestly, I don't want to see people, with the understanding that they can just run away, that they can be sheep. We are Americans. We are not like the Europeans who literally let criminals go and let criminals and terrorists go and hurt people, and they don't allow their own citizens to fight back. This is not Europe. This is the United fucking States of America, and we should tell people that if you fuck with us, we're gonna fuck you back. If someone shoots at us, shoot them back.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know I'm getting a little heated up on that, but I'm tired of seeing us just taking it, giving more ammunition, quite literally, to the liberals so they can go on and, spill their guts out and have all those feelings and emotions and stuff to try and take away our constitutional rights. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. We are not sheep. We are human beings, and we should be able to fight back no matter what. And I implore any American that is listening right now, if you are ever in a situation where somebody tries and takes away your freedom, or they're trying to take away your life or the life of those around you, if you can do something, please. You don't have to be a hero, but at least do something. Because we're not sheep. We're Americans.
Right on, man. That's pretty much it.
So
just go back and watch some of the Paris footage. You had 3 guys running around the big city of Paris with AKs. Everybody's terrified in their homes. Nobody's out in the streets, and they're mowing down the few people that they can catch left and right, and they're having fun. They're high-fiving each other. They're sitting there laughing, shooting at people randomly. That's not the kind of place that we need here. That's not the kind of environment that we need here.
No.
Yep. All it would have taken was one deer hunter in a window.
Oh yeah, yeah. If they could own rifles, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the worst part of that is, once the French realized that they were under siege like that, they started arming their cops.
Yeah, because they mowed down. They shot the one cop in cold blood.
Right there behind the car there. Yeah,
shot him, and then they walked up and capped him in the head. It's like, really, yeah.
But the British guys are just the opposite. They won't arm the regular bobbies, and while they awarded the guys that were there with their batons, who were trying to swing in with the batons when those guys had the knives.
Aren't those the same guys that ran away too?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they ran away and then came back. I mean, there was one guy that was relatively new to the force. He was only a 2-year guy, and I think he recently came out of the military, and he mixed it up with those guys and got seriously injured.
By the way, speaking of England, I got another topic I want to go over. And since you're talking about it, let's just jump right into it. Apparently, a British police commissioner has said that armed citizens could help fight terrorists in England. Figure that one out.
In England, you can't even shoot a guy that comes into your house in England.
I know. But from what I've heard from some Brits, it's because they have adopted a lot of the European Union laws and whatnot, and there's also because of the all-out handgun ban of, was it? When did they ban handguns? It wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Late 80s, or was it later than that?
It was later than that.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, they ban handguns, and the only way you can have a handgun is it looks convoluted, but you have to have like an extension stock thing on it, and you have to have it with a long barrel to half-ass it. It looks awful, but it's the only way you could have a semi-handgun. But it's still, I think it's still only you can only get it, you can only own guns in, rimfire cartridges. They don't let you have anything in center fire. You can own shotguns, but you can't own anything in centerfire cartridges.
Well, and I'm pretty sure it's either England or Australia, but I think it's England where you have, if you own a semi-automatic, you have to decommission it so it runs single fire. It cannot run can't run semi-automatic.
Yeah, I think that's a UK. There was somebody recently that I saw a video on where they were interviewing people. What does it take to own, an AR style rifle in your country? And I think that's what you have to have, is to be modified.
Yeah. And that's not the step in the right direction, folks. That's a step in the wrong direction.
And they got problems.
And Australia's calling for another gun collection.
Oh my God.
They've realized that the criminals still have guns, and they're going back to the populace again, saying, well, give us back the guns you didn't give us the first time.
Even though they're rolling in on the black market, probably from some foreign supplier, nothing local.
Yeah.
Other than the occasional theft, that could do it. But yeah.
That's why
Angry American was right. There was a Iraq veteran video of the guy that talked about how they had to decommission their guns. That's where I saw that.
It's a good video, by the way.
I saw it. It was good.
Yeah.
But I saw another video where, another guy actually went to England, and they were at an English shooting range, and they were going over everything. It's pretty much the same. Though they went into a little more detail on the rifles, and, that over in England, some like historical rifles, you can get around that, like with like an M1 Garand, you can get around that because they're historical rifles, but it's few and far between.
And you're probably going to pay.
You're going to pay out the ass.
Rifles. Yeah.
Out the ass for it. So,
yep.
It's pretty rough. But in this article, this British police commissioner is, is saying that, what does he say? If there should ever be a terrorist attack, what happens if I and other people try to defend themselves using those guns? Ask the caller, a gun owner from, okay, it's not from her, this is from someone talking to her. She's replying to this, saying it was a good question because this might be the solution for some of our issues. What's it say? A lot of people in England don't understand, guns in the first place, much less than liberals do here in our United States. She didn't answer the question though, so. But let's say, quite obviously, a marauding terrorist is the most challenging of circumstances. The police response requires significant professionalism and training, as well as firearms capability. During these incidents, highly trained police, firearms officers, and special forces will be deployed to protect our communities. The problem is, in England, the amount of forces they have that are allowed to use guns and carry guns are gravely downsized compared to the United States. Here in our country, we're able, all of our law enforcement officers are able to carry at any given time. But in England, not so much. I mean, yes, they have their own version of SWAT, but the problem is they don't have as many people in those divisions that they do here in the United States. So, anyways, I just figured we'd go over this. But there doesn't seem to be anything else in here other than a lot of conjecture.
So why isn't there an outcry from their police forces saying we want firearms just like our firearms officers? We'd be able to squash these attacks a lot quicker than having to call in our firearms officers who are just going to take an extra 30 minutes to get to the scene because they're not out on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think the bobbies would be saying, look, I'm going to strap something to my ankle or something. I'll carry it concealed, but I'm carrying something.
Yeah, because it's not getting any safer in England. All right. What were we talking about earlier before we started the chat and went down this rabbit hole? We were talking about AR-15s because I'm working on doing a build. I was talking to Travis about doing a build.
I need to do a build. It's about time.
So, Travis, we're talking, and you're almost to the point where you're thinking about doing a couple AR-15 building videos, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things I have not done yet. And I just recently bought, the upper or the lower, the bolt carrier group from PSA. But I was thinking about maybe going different, 20-inch rifle gas link or rifle gas system, getting a finished lower, but then getting whatever trigger I want to go with, lower parts kit, maybe going that route. I mean, from a financial standpoint, I'm not going to save much money, but the fact that I can kind of pick and choose the parts that I want, I like that. And there's some really good deals going out there right now on complete lower kits. And so that's what I'm thinking about doing next. Yeah, I've got the facilities to do it. I just haven't done one yet.
All right. Well, I'm working on a 20-inch build myself. I'm waiting for a lower parts kit to come in that has everything else. Though I'm still waiting on Smeggy to send me that mil-spec trigger and hammer. Yes, he still hasn't sent it to me, and it's been almost a year or two.
Oh my!
I think it's been about a year.
Did he send it like Pony Express or something, or what?
I don't know if he's sending it Pony Express, or I don't know if he's sending it by sea. I don't know.
The nice thing about building that lower is you can take your time doing it. You don't have to buy everything at one time. You can do a little bit at a time. You can buy these parts, those parts. You don't have to rush through it.
Right.
I like the customization. I was considering going with. You guys have any experience with those Fostech lowers? The ultralight. They're like a magnesium kind of composite formula that they make them out of. They're supposedly about a third lighter than a standard aluminum AR, but just as strong.
But the issue is with magnesium, I've heard it's a little more brittle than aluminum.
Okay.
So
it's not 100% magnesium. I think it's probably magnesium alloy. It's probably mixed with some aluminum and maybe.
I know, but just be careful if you're going to go that route. I would really recommend if you're going to get a lower receiver, and do a build, get like a. I
was looking at Anderson. I think Arrow. Yeah.
I buy Andersons, and I know people are going to say Night Strike. You always say get an Anderson lower because you can find them so cheap, and they're just as good as everything else, quite literally. I mean, if you can find a deal where you can get a aluminum lower, for a better price than an Anderson, go for it. I mean, jump on that like mad. But if you can't, get an Anderson because, quite literally, you can get a closed ear lower where the trigger guard is already built into the receiver, or you can get one without and just do the whole, put the trigger guard in yourself. But the issue is, I look and I see them online anywhere between, $39 to like $49 just for Anderson lowers. They're ridiculously inexpensive, but they are awesome as far as quality. I've not had one break on me. They all work. They all do what they have been advertised to do, which is go pew pew.
Exactly. I mean, I got to say too, this was the parts that I ordered was and we discussed this before the podcast. I'm actually going to gift that AR-15 to a family member. So yeah, I will be in the market for the parts and everything I need to do another one. But no, I just and the prices are just so low anymore. I just think there's no reason not to. It's about that time, I think.
I think it's either I or Elfod 1982 said, I just picked up 3 lowers only because I was going to buy a Mossberg Shockwave and then found out that you can't have those in New Jersey. So I put the money to better use. Good man. Get some lowers. Hoard those lowers. I'm not sure if you can build it to spec that it should be in New Jersey, but you know what? You get props for getting lowers and props for doing it yourself.
There you go.
I support building your own AR-15. I also support you buying one if you just want to buy an AR-15. That is good. But I like building them. I enjoy it. I find it relaxing, fun, something that I can do just at my leisure. So we got a question out there. Hey, anyone else see that video the Wound channel uploaded of him shooting an AK with M855A1? I have not seen that. Where is that AC-97? I would like to see that video. So, if you have a link to that, just email me a link of that video if you could, AC.
Wait, I don't understand. He's shooting 5.56 in an AK. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or. Let me look this up because this is interesting.
I mean, he's uploaded a lot of videos in the last couple of days, but I guess I'm not really seeing anything that specifically says they were shooting 5.56 through an AK.
Well, it might be one of those AKs just chambered in, 5.56.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, they do make them. Not that they're great, but quite honestly, if I wanted an AK in 5.56, I would buy a IMI Galil because an AK-74 or an AK-47 in 5.56 is just wrong.
Okay, it looks no. Then the most recent video that he posted, it says amazing ballistics gel test, Hornady 223 and 30-06, but I'm assuming that the AR sitting on the table, yeah, it looks like that would be your 5.56 223, and your 30-06 is going to be that pump rifle that's sitting on the table there.
And Scott on the YouTube side, Scott Pacini, he says, if you could afford an extra Galil. You know what? That is true. They are hard to find. I have been finding Galil parts kits, so I might be able to, finagle a build one of these days, getting a parts kit. So I'm just saying. Oh, no. And AC Set 97 saying, no, the joke is he took an AK and shot at it with M855A1 and killed it. Wow.
Oh, was he messing? He screwed up or something, or what? Did he do it on purpose?
No idea, but if you could find that link, AC, let us know because that is something I certainly want to see. So. All right. What else? We were on. Let me go through the YouTube side to see if there's any questions, and then I'll check the gun channel side. Go through there.
I did post a link to an article if you guys want to look at it real quick. They're apparently attaching the Hearing Protection Act.
Yeah, did they do that as a poison pill thing, though?
So it's been added to the larger natural resources bill. Hearing tomorrow, and that was June 13th.
You're not supposed to tell them. We're trying to get this in under the radar without them knowing because they're going to say no to it if they don't.
Well, I mean, it's on truthaboutguns.com. It's not like it's really hidden.
Well, shit, there goes the neighborhood.
My fault. I'm sorry, guys. All right. I mean, they can just plug everybody in at midnight and vote on it anyway, so, yeah.
Hold on a second. G-Webs and Jimmy and I and Angry were talking about this yesterday on the Daily Gun Show.
Okay.
I actually think it's kind of a smart idea because of where they're approaching it from the hunting side. And hunters seem to be, well, a majority of the gun owners. And they're also the ones who are for common sense gun laws. And I'm throwing up air quotes. So if they can get it passed for the hunters, which would in effect affect everybody in a positive way, we could end up backdooring the system. Also, most liberal Democrats don't go after hunters because they know there's too strong of an opposition there.
And they don't. We can get them to add machine guns into that.
I don't think that'll fly with the hunting department, but cans, having cans for hunting, might, is something that could be, and people are more likely to accept that than they would be make it seem like everybody out there has got a silencer. So if they got sound suppressor for hearing suppressor for, the Hearing Safe Act or whatever it's called, if the hunters can get it, then we all can get it. And it's more likely to pass. It's a bigger lobby and there's less people that are going to go against a hunting lobby than there would be people like you and me that would go against gun owners like you and me who are not quite technically hunters.
And the other side of that is they attached it to a bill that's actually going to get a hearing in the near future.
And it's being co-sponsored by a Republican and a Democrat. They're the co-chairs on the bill. That's good, I guess, you know.
So in a way, they're just backdooring it. If they can get it in this way, then they don't have to worry about having the Hearing Safe Act. And it won't even come up. They'll be like, they'll attach it to it, and they'll be like, oh, okay, it's for hunters. We'll let it go. Anyway, that's what I'm hoping.
All right. Well, AC97 sent the link, and I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. I mean, I have a problem, just a basic philosophical problem with tacking amendments on the bills that don't have anything to do with the base of the bills. So I mean, no pro or con one way or the other on the hearing protection stuff. But one of the things that really irks the snot out of me is when they tack a piece of legislation on ride it on the coattails of another piece of legislation.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how a lot of really bad laws get passed.
Mm-hmm. Happens all the time, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can understand, hey, if everybody else is going to do it, fine. But the other thing that could be a real problem for hunting, I mean, geez, if you get lost and you fire 3 times in the air, no one's going to be able to hear you.
Well, you take your suppressor off.
Well, you know, okay, hey, cycle camp, the whole, you know, I'm with you. Adding stuff onto a bill that doesn't have any place there is a crappy thing. It shouldn't happen. And this is why I think, since they do it so much, the president should have line item vetoes so he can veto specific things.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big believer in the line item veto, yeah.
But, and here's the big but, you got to fight fire with fire. The Dems and the Libs have been doing that shit to us forever. Why not? Yep. Why don't we use some of their tactics to get over on them?
Yep, nibbled to death by ducks. Yep.
Exactly.
But see, when they do it, it's okay. And when we do it, it's evil. But I agree. You know, unfortunately, it's from a philosophical standpoint, it's a shame that we have to resort to crap like this. But the reality of the situation, you got to be pragmatic about this. If that's the only way you get it passed, that's how you do it.
Well, we'll be watching that to see where that goes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's tomorrow, huh? That could be interesting.
Yep, the hearing is tomorrow.
Yeah. So
it would be interesting to watch. Is that going to be? Will that be on TV? Would that be on C-SPAN or something? Or is there a way we can actually check it out?
It may or may not. Some of this stuff they never have on TV, or they might still be doing these hearings with sessions to tomorrow or something.
Oh, please. I don't know. It kind of sounded like he was getting ready to tell him to go pound sand today. So,
yeah, he was. I heard some of it, and he's like, you know, this one guy was pressing him for information about a conversation that he had with, you know, with President Trump, and he's like, well, I'm not going to tell you this. I can't answer this in this question because it violates, you know, President Trump's constitutional rights, you know, as far as, you know, the right to privacy. And the guy says, you're in front of a congressional meeting and you're refusing to answer a question. And I'm just saying, wait, is he really telling him to go ahead and violate the Constitution? Is someone in our government openly trying to violate the Constitution?
Yeah, what a shock.
Yeah. You know, and anyone that sees this video and is out there, I'm gonna tell you right now, watch your legislators like a hawk. If you see one of them acting like that, you jump down their damn throats for doing so, because if we let them continue on as they're doing, just to try and grill someone or find someone in a witch hunt, you know, just so they can blame someone for, you know, them losing the election. The issue is, if we lose our constitutional rights, we never get them back. Case in point, they lost their gun, a ton of their rights to guns in Australia. They've never gotten them back, no matter how hard they've pushed for it. A right lost is a right lost. It will never be regained.
That's true.
So, and yes, some of you may disagree with me on this. That's fine, disagree, but just know that you're an asshole for disagreeing, because there ain't no way we're gonna get some of the rights lost, that, you know, rights back that we've lost. There is just no way. You know, the only way for something like that is literally I'm not going to say rebellion. I'm going to say revolution. But not in the sense of a communist revolution, more as the, a civil disobedience revolution.
It could happen if, like, I don't know, coming up in the midterms, we get a supermajority in the House and the Senate.
Never happened.
Probably won't, but it could.
No, but even if you did, it wouldn't happen. Because most of the Republican guys are just rhinos, and they just say, look at the original attempt to pass the modification to repeal Obamacare, right? They tried 47 or 97 times to kill it when they knew they couldn't, and they were the minority party. And then as soon as they got in power, Trump put them on the spot and said, "Okay, guys, I'm sitting here ready to sign this. Send it on over." And they bailed. Oh, well, we don't have the votes, and we don't think we can make it happen. It was all posturing. It was all bullshit. And our legislators today are all posturing bullshitters.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is very true.
So I don't expect them. I mean, how can you have the Supreme Court, lower court, say the Second Amendment does not cover assault? Sporting rifles. How can you have them say that they cannot extend the protection of the Second Amendment to the AR-15 because it's a military style weapon? And it's like, yeah, that's the whole point. That's what militias use. And nobody said a thing. The Supreme Court refused to hear the case. It's nuts.
Yeah. The problem is that was in the Fourth Circuit Court?
I believe it was. Yeah.
It was the Fourth Circuit Court. Unfortunately, the Fourth Circuit Court does have South Carolina included in that. But here's the thing: there are a ton of AR-15 manufacturers in South Carolina. So if they did something like that, I'm telling you right now, South Carolina would probably, the people would probably revolt, because a lot of people would lose jobs, and no one in South Carolina likes to see people lose jobs over government government misappropriation, over government tyranny, I guess would be the right word.
Or if we've learned anything from the Springfield and Rock River Arms thing, manufacturers would just strike a deal with the government and then be on board as long as they're exempt.
Yeah. And that's a no-go either.
Yep. As long as those guys have their own security staffs and they can hire private guys to walk around with guns to protect them, they don't give a shit about the rest of us.
Yeah. Scott Puccini on the YouTube side says, if just the NRA decided they want to change the government and decided to march on Washington, what could the government do against 6 million people? Nothing. That's a good point. But in our gun community, the only time you saw any of us doing anything was when they were going to try and ban the AR-15. That was the only time people got up, went to Washington and started going and saying, no, stop. And another time was they didn't actually go and protest that or anything, but everyone did go and call and email and message the ATF on the M855 ban. Okay, if we can get more of these people that are doing this to actually go up into Washington and say, hey, stop fucking around, stop taking our rights, then maybe something can get accomplished. But until we can get that many people there, nothing's going to happen. I agree with you.
But the bottom line is just like during the Revolutionary War, that's where the expression 3%er came from, because only 3 people out of 100 actually participated, got their guns out and did that stuff. And we're still the minority. And if we were to do that, the majority of the people in the country would go ballistic because of us usurping the Democratic and Republican process. So it's just never going to happen that way. I mean, we might get into a civil war, but you're never going to have the kind of thing where we do some kind of a coup. It's just not going to happen.
And I could never even imagine what circumstances it would take to get even the 5 million members of the of the NRA. I couldn't imagine the circumstances it would take to get all of them, you know, actually on the same board and on the same accord. Because, I mean, yeah, there's 5 million members, but we're all broken into different subsections. You got the hunters, you got the self-defense guys, and, you know.
Right, the target shooters, you know.
It would probably have to be on the scale of taking away the Second Amendment, period. That would get everyone to get on board. So there's that. Anyways, does anybody else have a topic?
So I'm just prepping for the Civil War because I know none of this other stuff is going to work. I don't mind participating and trying to, you know, but I have very little confidence that there is a political answer to the issue that we have, because we can't change the political system because the power is already concentrated, and it's just there's just no way to dislodge those guys.
Right, I understand, but you know, it can't hurt to try. So, all right. Does anybody else have a topic? I'm kind of running low tonight.
Well, you've already done an hour, so we're close too.
Well, you got 3 or 4 minutes to go. Yeah.
More like 5 or 10 because we started late. Remember?
Oh, okay. Well, so we'll go on. Oh, let's talk about. Guess what I'm doing tomorrow.
Had there be someone mentioned in the YouTube side that you are delusional and that you only believe you've left California. You're still there in California.
Yes, I've transcended my chakra has transcended the bounds of California into the freedom of Arizona space. Actually, I can prove I'm in Arizona because if you look at my video where it's called
Quarking
the shit out of Jimmy. Yeah. I was actually at Casa Grande, Arizona, south of me, with Jimmy, Angry American, and G-Webs. Plus, we did the daily gun show from a Cracker Barrel down there.
Oh, man. And nobody called the police? Nobody called? Like, wow, you were definitely in a free state.
And then tomorrow, Jimmy and I are driving down to Tucson to pick up G-Webs, or meet up with G-Webs, and then we're going to Tucson. Or not Tucson, Tombstone.
What are you guys doing in Tombstone?
Actually, technically, you are going to go to Tucson. You're going to have to go through Tucson to get to Tombstone.
Well, yeah, that's where we're going to meet G-Webs, is at Tucson. But we're going to Tombstone.
Well, technically, you're going to Tucson first, and then you're going to Tombstone.
But we're not going to Tucson to pick up G-Webs to go to Tucson because we're already going to be there. We're going to Tombstone after that.
Okay. Okay, we've got that down.
All these places, all these things are all in the great state of Arizona.
So what's going on in Tombstone?
We're just going to go down for the day.
Oh, okay. So it's not like some special match or something.
They want to go down to Tombstone because they haven't been there before.
Oh,
well,
they want to see OK Corral.
Jimmy's actually been to Tombstone. G-Webs has been to Tombstone. I've driven by it a number of times when I was truck driving, but I never stopped. So
I've been there a couple times myself. So you know,
I hope it's not as big a disappointment as the Alamo was.
It is.
Whatever. I'm going. Jimmy says he loves it down there. G-Webs likes it down there. I'm gonna like it down there. Enough said. So anyway, that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Well, good luck.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I have a question for you. When are you gonna start doing your chats again? Do you know what days you're gonna do them now? No,
not yet. Right now, I'm just gonna loose leaf them. It's gonna be It's Me Heavy B. Is gonna be the name of the show because Fridays I think is gonna be out of the picture unless I do it during the day, like early daytime. So then I can't call it Friday Night Sights because at least when I was doing it out in California, it was evening someplace. So, I could still call it Friday Night Sights.
You can't call it Thursday Night Sights?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it on Thursdays. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do them on Wednesday nights.
Hey, man, you can join me Saturday morning. We can tag team.
Unfortunately, I open to close on Saturdays. Open to close on Saturday, open to close on Sunday. So far, I don't know what my next schedule is going to be, but this week I open to close. So,
all right.
You're not going to be living in your car no more?
I haven't been living in my car to begin with. I never lived in my car. Well, I can't say that. For a short time when I came back from New Hampshire, I did live in my car for a couple of weeks, but
it was worth it.
That was, yeah. So, that was back when I got back from New Hampshire. That was back a long time ago. A galaxy far, far away called California. So
gives me shivers.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. Oh, does anybody have an 11-inch free float rail for an AR pistol? A bolt carrier group and or a buffer tube assembly for a pistol, an AR pistol. Throwing that out there. Does anybody have any of those things that they want to get rid of?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Connecticut, enough said.
Yeah, enough said. I feel your pain, brother.
What was the question?
Do you have a pistol, an AR pistol buffer tube assembly? Buffer tube, spring, and buffer, and a bolt carrier group, and or an 11-inch 4-end free float for an AR pistol?
I do not.
Yeah.
All I have are mil-spec rifle AR purse.
Speaking of ARs, Heavy, have you deneutered yours yet?
What are you talking about?
Have you neutered your ARs?
Have you deneutered?
Yeah, I'm assuming you're meaning removing the bullet button.
Yeah, have you thrown that piece of shit in the trash yet?
Have you assaulted
it? It's actually I have removed it. And the standard mag release is on there. I did it at the beginning of the show, actually.
Yay! You should have filmed that and put it up on YouTube and call it. This is what it means to be free, man.
5 seconds, dude. I mean, it literally. I unscrewed it, pulled out the bullet button, put the spring in, put the standard mag in, mag release in, and screwed on. It does. I mean, it wasn't worth my time.
No, it was.
Put it on there.
No, it's taking the chains off, man. You're that much further.
I did. I took the chains off. They're gone.
I
took the chains off when I moved here.
I'm tearing up, honestly. Stop it, okay? I'm tearing up. God, Heavy.
Because I am in a free state, I could let the bullet button on just because I wanted to, if I wanted to. Because it's a free state, I can do what I want.
There you go.
The option was there for me to leave it on or take it off. I chose to take it off.
People would chastise you at the range for it. Because you had.
And I would go, fuck you, I'm free. I can do what I want. Because America, bitch.
America, fuck yeah.
Well, you mean this part of America?
Yeah.
What, you mean there's something west of Arizona and Nevada?
I don't believe there's anything west of Arizona.
Future oceanfront property, maybe, but
my friends, it's a beautiful nightmare west of Arizona and Nevada. It's very beautiful territory, but the people suck in some legal laws. So, just saying. But
the only advantage we have is that we're smaller. The black hole is a little tinier up at this end.
Yeah, a black hole's still a black hole. It still sucks you in.
Yep. Yeah, South Carolina's still looking good.
You can escape to Arizona. Come join us. Come down here and join the Gun Channels community.
Come to South Carolina. Join the Gun Channels.
Night Strike. Stop it right now, because we've got more people in Arizona right now than we do in freaking South Carolina.
Oh, come on.
You got me, you got Jimmy, you got G-Webs, you got Enrique, you got Bulldog over on the YouTube side. What up, Bulldog?
I mentioned that before. Everybody's down in Arizona, man. Jeez.
Angry Americans coming out here.
Man, I will think about coming down as soon as you guys scope out the compound and all that.
You need to move down here. You need to move down here so you can help us scope it out, because this is going to be, everybody's going to have to chip in. It's going to be a group effort.
Yeah, we got to crowdfund it.
Well,
GoFundMe.
you guys down there can do the recon, and let me know once you got a plot of land figured out. And
there's
and
a
all
ton.
that.
There's a ton of land out here. There's a ton of land. I mean, you can go north of Flagstaff and get 40 acres for like 18 grand.
You can get
And
more for that.
My God, that's cheap. Jeez, that's like the price of 2 acres in Nebraska that you can actually grow crops on. Seriously.
No, don't misunderstand. The cheap land that he's talking about is undeveloped land. It's not been developed. There's no water. There's no electric or sewage or water connection. It's just barren land.
And so was Las Vegas at one point, but look at it now.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank you very much. And we don't have to move there. There's so much open land out here. We can just go sit on a piece of land and then like file for like make ourselves a city. We'll have Gun Channel City.
There you go. GCC.
Yeah. And, we could be part of, everybody could be part of the police force, of the GCC police force, GCC fire department. We'll make it happen.
What about the GCC militia?
Well, if everybody's there, part of the police department, why would we need a militia?
Why not?
It's the whole point of Gun Channel City is to like have everybody be part of. We'd all be a community. We would be the militia. We would be everything.
Good.
The GCC militia already exists. We're just spread out across the country at this point in time.
Yeah.
And then, if you move down here, though, we could get enough people. We can make this the capital. This could be the capital of the GCC.
Well, half of Nebraska's elderly population already goes to Arizona every winter. So you got half our people right now. So you don't have to worry about that. But
look, all I'm saying is like, wouldn't you like to live in Gun Channel City, Arizona?
Oh, of course, dude. So the zip code would be what, 00556, or would it be 76239? That would be a good zip code, wouldn't it? 76239, 55654.
556 45
45.
And I want to live in a large part of town with 40, 44, 45.
Yeah, me too.
There you go. 4570.
You can make your own address, whatever caliber you want it to be.
Oh, man, that'd be awesome.
I want to
like Night Strike can live at 9mm Boulevard.
No, I want to live on 545 Casula Lane.
We could, if we have people we don't like, we can put them on Rock River Road and the XD cul-de-sac. XD cul-de-sac.
You can stop that right now. Those two names will not be mentioned in our
Springfield
city.
Parkway.
No, I think it would be
Parkway.
Springfield Armory Boulevard.
No, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys might just disinvite yourself if you keep this up.
You can't.
That's okay. I'll have my patch when I
come up. Arizona, if I want to go to Arizona, heavy. I'm just telling you that right now.
Oh yeah, I know, but you won't come because you're stuck in South Carolina.
For the moment.
Remember, we don't have to have haters. There's enough room for everybody. It's all good, right? There you go.
True.
Everybody has their own land. Everybody, if you don't want to hang out, you don't want to live on Glock Street, you go live on Sig Street or whatever. Smith and Wesson Boulevard. Yep.
Yeah, I'd be 10 miles out of town.
I'm gonna live on the end. I'm gonna live at the end of Heavy B Place. So
there you go.
Or Heavy B Circle. There you go.
Ooh, High Point Dead End. I like the sound of that. That was Darren Day's comment over there. Yeah.
Darren. Yes, Darren, you got to move down to Arizona. Join us.
Live on a commie gun cul-de-sac.
Learn the power of the Gun Channel side.
So I'll live outside of town on Night Strike Court.
You won't be affiliated with gun channels if that's the case. That's okay.
Yeah, you got to pay your property tax to the gun channels.
Because of Smeg, we'll put in a hit or miss boulevard.
You sure it wouldn't be hit or miss circle?
If you want a circle, go ahead and have a circle. I think I'm going to do Heavy B Place. Yeah,
there you go.
There would be a hit boulevard and a miss boulevard, and I'm pretty sure Night Strike would be on Miss Boulevard.
No, I would be on hit.
They would cross each other, right? They would cross each other, and he would live right at the corner of Hit and Miss Boulevard.
Hit or miss, yeah. They have to run perpendicular. They can't run parallel because then It would never be hit nor miss. So,
And
but
imagine
anyway.
you could buy 30-round PMags in every convenience store across town.
I'm pretty sure until we get the numbers we want, there's going to be one store. It's going to be like the old West,
No,
general
Guns R Us.
store. It'll be
Guns
the general
R Us.
store. You walk in, it's general store. It's going to be the general
There
store,
you go.
and you can buy all your guns and ammo and tools and food and
suppressors.
There will be a city ordinance that if anyone gets offended and needs a safe space, they will be escorted outside to the city limits because that's what their safe space is.
Sieg Heil Night Strike. Sieg Heil. I mean, come on. If they need a safe space, we just tell them there's a safe space zone right on the outside of the town. That way we're not offensive. This way we can
just hang up signs.
Yeah, like this here's a safe space. We'll put in areas gun-free zone. It'll be like the other side of the border of the town. There you go.
All right, we've got it all figured out. We're ready to go.
I don't want them in my town.
They won't be. They'll be on the outside of the town. You won't have to escort anybody out. Besides, we're trying to get the two-way people more powerful. We're trying to draw more people into the Second Amendment, the love of the Second Amendment. So if we did this,
I just don't want the liberals there, okay?
If you continued with your exclusionary tactics, man, you're going to drive people away.
I'll let you do the planning. I'll just enjoy the benefits, okay? There we go.
We need to bring them in. We can be the mecca, the gun mecca of the world.
This is true.
I like this idea.
Yep.
See?
But you just pass one law. You got to have a permit to vote.
No.
And I mean a gun permit. A gun permit.
A gun permit.
There will be no gun permits.
You'll actually have to surrender your gun permits when you move in within city limits, right? You'll have to turn in
your
carry
permits. Look. This is how it's going to be.
You don't need those anymore. You don't need them anymore. You're free, man.
Travis, chill.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't contain myself. Heavy.
I know.
All right, man. Go ahead. I'll shut up now.
Okay. If you have your gun permits and all that, you can keep them, but they mean absolutely nothing in the town because it's a constitutional carry town. Like you can walk in with your gun to the courthouse and nobody will make a deal out of it because everybody's doing it.
There you go.
It will be a truly armed, polite society.
Does that mean there's going to be a Judge G. Webbs?
Probably. So don't break the laws because he'll fuck you.
Jimmy and Tony, attorneys at law. Come to the law offices of Jimmy and Tony.
and then you have the law offices of Sean Connery Esquire.
Oh God.
Hey, and Travis.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You can be the school superintendent.
Hey,
you're already the teacher, so you know how to run.
I got my certificate, so it should work. So no,
there
we go. That works. And I'll make sure that we have hunter safety will be a class that will incorporate into the elementary schools, and we'll have a nice
It'll be part of the mandatory curriculum.
We'll have a skeet shooting team at the high school level. Do some competitive shooing, definitely.
Skeet shooting. We do trapping and skeet shooting. We can do 3-gun, 2-gun.
Definitely.
I'm requiring the school curriculum include a civilian marksmanship course.
Oh, done.
It's mandatory. It's part of the It's mandatory. It's part of the mandatory educational process.
Yeah, because you got to be able. If you're going to live in the town, you have to make sure that you can actually hit something if you need to use your gun. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. There you go.
So
summer school for kids that don't make it the first time through. remedial handguns 101.
Though
shop classes on gunsmithing, right?
Yeah. The kids will just do that remedial just so they could get in a couple extra shots in here and there.
We could outsource sky repairs to our campus, and we could have like a little exchange program where we do pro bono work on CPX2s for people that need them repaired.
You'd probably actually make money at that.
We would. Sky would actually outsource to us to do all their dirty work for them. So, yep.
There you go. All right.
It's a beautiful thing.
All right. We had a good laugh there.
I feel so good right now. I'm so happy.
This was good. So I want to thank my panelists for showing up. Psycho Camp, thank you for showing up and giving us your perspective.
Oh, you're welcome. I really enjoyed being on here.
And Heavy B, thank you for giving us that little skit right there. That was hilarious.
Skip my ass. It will be a reality.
One day
believe to achieve, my friend. You must believe to achieve.
we may have to get funding for that. So
if we
Go
get
to
enough gun
Kick-Ass
channels,
Starter.
look, all we have to do is get enough people to move to Arizona, and we can start a town. We'll have the population. We just go out there and start building shit, and then we'll just make it a town. We'll just send all the paperwork, to the state of Arizona and say, "Hey, look, we're a town." They're going to be like, "Oh, okay."
And Too Hottie, thank you for showing up.
Thanks for the invite.
And Travis P11, thank you for giving us your perspective and showing up.
Hey, man, always appreciate it. I had a great time tonight. I feel good.
All right. I want to thank our gun channels viewers out there that are on the chat out there. I want to thank our YouTube viewers out there, AC97, Doug D, Scott Pacini, who showed up. Didn't see many others. Darren Day was out there. Angry American was out there. Who else? Who else? The regulars. Pink Panther was out there. What are you doing out there, Pink? You're already on gun channels. Who else was out there? There was iFod 1982 was out there. And there's Clay out there and Nick C. So, and if I didn't say your name, I'm not ignoring you. I just didn't see you in the list. But thank you all on YouTube for listening. And if you're watching this video in the future, thank you for listening. So this was Hit or Miss. We'll see you next week.
Bye, Philly.